Ladies and gentlemen, you're on a ship, floating aimlessly in the middle of an endless ocean. No wind, no direction, no purpose. That's laziness. It feels like a calm sea, but in reality, you're going nowhere fast. Let me ask you, how long will you drift before you take control of the wheel? Laziness is not a harmless habit, it's a thief in disguise. It steals your dreams, drains your potential, and hands your future to someone else. It's time to stop being lazy and reclaim your power. Listen guys, laziness isn't just a simple lack of effort, it's the result of a deeper mental block. It's not something inherent in you, rather, it's a mindset, a habit that's been cultivated over time. At its core, laziness is born out of a combination of fear, comfort, and avoidance. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, or even fear of success can paralyze us into inaction. We often avoid starting something because we're unsure of how it will turn out. We let the possibility of failure overwhelm us before we even begin. And so we choose to do nothing instead. At the same time, laziness thrives on the pull of comfort. The easy, the familiar, the safe. It whispers to you, just relax for a little longer. You've worked hard enough. Don't push yourself today, but comfort, while temporary, is a trap. It keeps you from growing, from challenging yourself, from stepping out of your comfort zone and reaching your true potential. Over time, this becomes a routine. Instead of taking action, we choose inaction because the alternative feels too difficult, too uncertain. Another root cause is avoidance, avoiding responsibility, avoiding difficult tasks, and avoiding discomfort. In the moment, it feels easier to push things off until later. I'll do it tomorrow, we tell ourselves. But every time we put something off, we're not just delaying the task. We're reinforcing a cycle of procrastination. And each time we avoid doing the hard work, we train ourselves to be lazy, to avoid challenges rather than tackle them head on. Laziness is also rooted in a lack of clarity. When you don't know what you want or why you want it, it becomes easy to procrastinate. Without clear goals or a purpose, it's hard to summon the energy or motivation to take action. You don't see the value in pushing through tough moments because the payoff seems too distant or unclear. This lack of direction creates a fog in your mind, and in that fog, laziness grows. Laziness is fed by the culture of instant gratification that we live in today. We live in a world where everything is available at the click of a button: entertainment, food, answers, all delivered immediately. The ease of digital life can make the effort required in real-world tasks feel overwhelming. Why work hard when you can instantly escape into a world of entertainment or leisure? This immediate reward system reinforces lazy habits, making it harder to develop the patience and persistence required for success. Laziness is not something that just happens, it's the result of a combination of mental and environmental factors that work together to keep us stuck in inaction. But recognizing these root causes is the first step to breaking free from its grip. Comfort is one of the most deceptive forces we face. On the surface, it seems harmless, even desirable. After all, who doesn't want a life filled with ease and relaxation? But comfort is not as innocent as it appears. It is a silent killer of progress, growth, and success. When we choose comfort over challenge, we trade long-term fulfillment for short-term pleasure. Every time we opt for the easier path, we are making a decision that will cost us more than we realize. Comfort in its purest form is stagnation. It's the feeling of being in a place where nothing changes, nothing grows, and nothing is achieved. You can find yourself in a comfortable routine where you're not failing, but you're also not succeeding. You wake up, go through the motions, and at the end of the day, it feels like you've done just enough to get by. The problem with comfort is that it lulls you into complacency. Over time, you stop challenging yourself, stop pushing your limits, and stop striving for something better. The danger lies in thinking that just getting by is enough, when in fact you're slowly losing the potential to truly thrive. Comfort also isolates us from our true potential. When you stay in your comfort zone, you avoid the very experiences that would help you grow. Every challenge you face, every bit of discomfort you push through is an opportunity to learn, to build strength, and to expand your abilities. But when you opt for comfort, you close the door to those opportunities. You tell yourself, I'll try again tomorrow, but the cycle repeats itself, and you find yourself stuck in a perpetual state of waiting for the right time, which never comes. Another high cost of comfort is the erosion of your dreams. Comfort promises peace of mind and the avoidance of risk. But risk is often the gateway to opportunity. By constantly seeking comfort, you avoid taking the necessary risks that could lead you to the life you truly desire. Think about it, the most successful people didn't get where they are by staying in their comfort zone. They embraced discomfort, took calculated risks, and worked tirelessly through the challenges they faced. Comfort, therefore, becomes a barrier to success, because it keeps you from stepping out and doing the hard work required to achieve something extraordinary. Comfort steals your time. It's easy to fall into the trap of wasting hours in a state of mindless relaxation, binge watching shows, scrolling through social media, or procrastinating on tasks. These actions feel good in the moment, but they come with a hidden cost. You can never get that time back. Each minute spent in comfort is a minute you could have spent learning, creating, or building toward your goals. The more time you spend in this cycle, the more opportunities you miss, and eventually the more you regret not using that time wisely. Comfort creates a false sense of security. It convinces you that you're safe, that you don't need to take risks or make hard decisions. But security is an illusion. Life is unpredictable, and the true source of security comes from being adaptable, resilient, and willing to face challenges head-on. When you seek comfort, you don't develop these crucial skills. Instead, you rely on external factors to define your sense of safety. This leaves you vulnerable in times of change or adversity, because you haven't built the inner strength needed to navigate through life's ups and downs. In the end, the cost of comfort is steep. It may give you temporary satisfaction, but it robs you of long-term success, growth, and fulfillment. Momentum is one of the most powerful forces you can harness in life. It's often underestimated, yet its ability to propel you towards success is undeniable. The beauty of momentum lies in its simplicity. Once you start moving, it becomes easier to keep moving. The hardest part is always the first step. After that, momentum takes over, and the task ahead becomes less daunting. Momentum operates like a snowball rolling down a hill. At first, it's small, perhaps insignificant, and doesn't seem like much. But as it gathers speed, it grows, picks up more snow, and becomes unstoppable. The same principle applies to your efforts. Whether you're working on a goal, building a habit, or chasing a dream, the initial push is the most challenging part. It feels like you're pushing against a mountain, and every inch feels hard-won. But once you gain momentum, you'll find that tasks start to feel less burdensome, decisions become easier, and the obstacles that once seemed insurmountable no longer feel so intimidating. One of the key advantages of momentum is its ability to overcome procrastination. Procrastination thrives in a state of inertia. When you're not moving, it's easy to delay, avoid, and get stuck in the cycle of tomorrow. But the moment you begin to take action, no matter how small, you set in motion a chain of events that pushes procrastination aside. That first action creates a ripple effect, triggering the desire to do more, to keep going. The more you accomplish, the more momentum you build, and the easier it becomes to keep pushing forward. What once seemed like an overwhelming task now feels more manageable, because you've gained the energy and drive to continue. Another reason momentum is so powerful is that it creates positive reinforcement. Every small victory, no matter how insignificant it may seem at the time, strengthens your confidence and belief in your ability to succeed. It's like filling your tank with fuel after each step. You begin to associate progress with success, and that sense of accomplishment propels you further. Each completed task, no matter how minor, serves as a reminder that you are capable of more. The more you experience this, the more you crave it, and the cycle continues to build in your favor. Momentum also makes the process of working toward your goals far more enjoyable. When you're in the flow of progress, you become less focused on the difficulties of the journey and more focused on the rewards of moving forward. As you pick up speed, tasks that once seemed tedious or impossible become part of the rhythm of your daily life. What once felt like effort now feels like second nature. This shift is a crucial part of building lasting habits. Momentum transforms the way you see your tasks. It turns them from burdens into opportunities. Momentum breeds consistency. It's not about making massive leaps in a short time, but rather maintaining steady, ongoing effort. Momentum thrives on consistency. When you establish a routine and maintain it, momentum helps to keep you moving even on days when motivation seems low. The key is showing up and doing the work, even when it doesn't feel easy. Over time, your commitment to consistency will create a momentum that pushes you forward, even in moments of doubt. But there's another crucial aspect to momentum. It's contagious. When you start to build momentum in one area of your life, whether it's fitness, work, or personal development, it has a tendency to spill over into other areas. Success creates more success. As you gain momentum in one task, it sparks the desire to push forward in others. You begin to see that the process of taking action and staying consistent can be applied to various facets of your life. And soon you'll find yourself with momentum in areas you didn't even expect. The power of momentum doesn't just come from what you do, it comes from how you do it. Momentum thrives when you stay focused, persistent, and committed to making progress, however small. It's built on the foundation of consistent effort, driven by the understanding that every step forward counts. Even when the road is tough and the destination feels distant, momentum will carry you forward, making the impossible seem possible. The most significant achievements in life don't come from grand, sweeping actions. They come from starting small and being consistent. Too often, people get overwhelmed by the idea of the end goal, the dream, the vision, the outcome, and forget that every monumental success began with a single, often humble step. The power of starting small is not just in the action itself, but in the process of building momentum and gradually increasing your capacity over time. When you begin a new project, a new habit, or a new journey, it's easy to feel daunted by the enormity of the task ahead. The idea of reaching the finish line can seem so far off, so distant, that it paralyzes you into inaction. But here's the truth: you don't need to begin with a giant leap. You don't need to know every step in advance or have everything figured out. What matters is that you start. And starting small is one of the most powerful ways to make consistent progress without feeling overwhelmed by the challenges ahead. Think of a skyscraper. It may rise hundreds of feet into the sky, but it doesn't begin as a towering building. It starts with the foundation, a series of small, measured steps to prepare the ground before the structure even begins to take shape. Without that foundation, the building would never rise. Similarly, in your personal life or business, the foundation of your success is built on small actions that accumulate over time. Whether it's writing a few sentences each day for a book, saving a small amount of money regularly, or working out for just 15 minutes, these small efforts lay the groundwork for something far bigger. Starting small also allows you to develop the right habits and mindset. Big, dramatic changes often burn bright but fade quickly. They may give you an initial rush of excitement, but without the discipline and consistency to back them up, they burn out fast. Small steps, on the other hand, become a part of your routine. They build habits that reinforce your commitment to your goal. This consistency is what makes all the difference. It's easier to maintain momentum when you focus on gradual improvements rather than trying to leap too far too fast. Starting small helps to reduce the pressure and fear of failure. When you aim for big changes right away, the fear of not succeeding can prevent you from even trying. But when you break down your goals into smaller, more manageable tasks, the pressure to succeed disappears. Each small victory feels like progress, and the cumulative effect of those small wins fuels your motivation to keep going. Over time, these small victories stack up, and you start to realize that big goals are achievable if you take them one step at a time. Another reason why starting small is essential is that it gives you the opportunity to refine your approach. As you begin to take action, you learn and adapt. You'll make mistakes, yes, but those mistakes are valuable lessons. When you start small, you have the flexibility to adjust your strategy, fine-tune your methods, and improve as you go. If you set out to achieve something enormous right away, you may find yourself unprepared to handle the inevitable setbacks and challenges. Starting small, however, gives you the chance to test the waters, experiment with different techniques, and find what works best for you. Starting small also helps you build the resilience needed for long-term success. In the beginning, the rewards may seem far away, and progress might appear slow. But the act of showing up every day, even for a small effort, builds your mental toughness. As you continue with your small actions, you'll find that your capacity to tackle bigger challenges increases. The more you persist, the more you learn how to handle obstacles and push through discomfort. Over time, the small actions you took at the start will become the foundation of your strength. Starting small allows you to celebrate progress along the way. Big, ambitious goals can sometimes feel too distant to recognize any immediate success, but when you break down your larger goals into smaller, achievable steps, you can celebrate each milestone. These celebrations, no matter how small, reinforce your sense of accomplishment and keep you motivated to push forward. Every small win serves as a reminder that you're on the right path, and it encourages you to keep building. Starting small doesn't mean you're thinking small, it means you're laying the groundwork for something big. It's about building gradually, step by step, and allowing each small action to compound into something far greater. By starting small, you build a solid foundation, develop sustainable habits, and make steady progress toward your big goals. It's not about rushing to the finish line, it's about laying the steps to get there one at a time and creating lasting success in the process. Motivation is often seen as the fuel that drives us to take action. We wait for that burst of inspiration, that surge of energy, that feeling of excitement to push us forward. We believe that when motivation strikes, we'll be unstoppable. But what happens when that motivation fades? What do we do when we wake up and the enthusiasm we once felt is nowhere to be found? The truth is, relying solely on motivation is a fragile strategy. Motivation is fleeting, unpredictable, and dependent on external factors. That's why discipline is far more powerful. Discipline is not swayed by emotions or circumstances. It's a constant force that drives you to keep going, even when motivation is nowhere to be seen. Motivation often arises from external factors, such as a deadline praise or the thrill of a new beginning. It can feel like a spark that ignites your desire to act. But this spark is short-lived. As soon as the initial excitement fades, so does the motivation. On the other hand, discipline is the daily commitment to showing up and doing the work, regardless of how you feel. Discipline doesn't rely on emotional highs. It's about creating habits and routines that keep you moving forward, whether or not you feel motivated. Discipline is about consistency. It's about deciding in advance that no matter what, you'll take the necessary actions every day. Motivation might get you started, but it's discipline that will see you through. It's the quiet, steady force that propels you forward even when the journey feels long and the results seem far away. When you rely on motivation, you're at the mercy of your emotions. But when you rely on discipline, you're in control. You know that success doesn't come from waiting for the right mood to hit. It comes from showing up every day, putting in the effort, and trusting that your consistent actions will lead to results. One of the most powerful aspects of discipline is its ability to create habits. Habits are the building blocks of success. They remove the need for constant decision-making and reduce the mental effort required to take action. When you make discipline a part of your daily routine, you're not constantly relying on bursts of motivation to get things done. The task becomes automatic. You no longer have to talk yourself into it, because discipline has turned it into a habit. It's the same reason why some people can wake up early and work out every morning without fail. They built the habit, and now it's ingrained in their routine. The decision has already been made for them, and the action follows naturally. Discipline also provides a sense of accountability. When you commit to a task, you make a promise to yourself that you will follow through, regardless of how you feel. This commitment to your goals creates a sense of responsibility that is not easily shaken. Discipline is about honoring your word and taking ownership of your actions. Motivation, however, is often influenced by external factors and can fade when challenges arise. But discipline doesn't waver in the face of difficulty. It's not about avoiding discomfort. It's about pushing through it and getting the job done, no matter how you feel in the moment. Another key aspect of discipline is that it helps to break down large goals into manageable tasks. When you rely on motivation, you can often feel overwhelmed by the size of your goals. You might feel excited at first, but quickly lose steam when the work feels too big or too complex. Discipline, however, allows you to break those goals down into smaller, more achievable steps. Instead of feeling paralyzed by the enormity of your ambitions, you simply focus on the next step. You know that each small action is a building block toward a larger outcome, and that the process of showing up every day will eventually get you where you want to go. Discipline also strengthens your mental toughness. It teaches you to persevere through obstacles, setbacks, and moments of doubt. When you're disciplined, you don't let challenges derail you. You know that setbacks are a normal part of the journey, And that success comes to those who continue to put in the work despite them. Motivation might make you feel good in the moment, but it's discipline that helps you stay strong in the face of adversity. It builds resilience by teaching you to keep going when things get tough, and it reinforces the belief that persistence pays off. Perhaps the most important benefit of discipline is that it fosters long-term growth. While motivation can fuel short-term bursts of energy, discipline is what leads to sustainable success. Motivation may push you to work hard for a few days, but discipline ensures that you're taking consistent action over the long haul. It's the difference between someone who tackles a new project with excitement but abandons it a week later and someone who commits to a goal and works toward it steadily, year after year, until they reach it. Discipline is the key to unlocking lasting results. It's the foundation of personal and professional success because it's what allows you to stay on track even when the initial excitement fades. Discipline is the secret to achieving your goals. It's what will keep you going when motivation runs dry. It's about building habits, staying consistent, and committing to the process. Discipline doesn't wait for the perfect moment, the right feelings, or the best conditions. It's the unwavering commitment to doing the work, day in and day out, no matter what. Inaction is one of the most costly decisions we can make, though it often goes unnoticed until the consequences begin to reveal themselves. The price of inaction is not always immediate. It's a slow erosion of opportunities, potential, and progress that builds over time. At first, it seems harmless to delay a decision or put off an important task, but as time passes, those small delays accumulate, and the impact becomes undeniable. By visualizing the cost of inaction, you can bring clarity to the consequences that might otherwise seem distant or abstract. When you choose inaction, you are effectively choosing to remain in a state of stagnation. Think of it like a river that is no longer flowing. At first, the water might seem still and calm, but as time goes on, the river becomes stagnant. It becomes muddy, full of debris, and ultimately incapable of sustaining life. In the same way, when you don't take action, you stop growing, stop learning, and stop moving forward. The opportunities you had once envisioned begin to fade, and you find yourself stuck, wishing you had started earlier. The cost is not just in missed opportunities, but in the slow decay of your ability to progress. Inaction also leads to regret. It's the subtle voice that grows louder over time, telling you that you should have acted sooner. As weeks, months, or even years pass, that voice turns into a constant reminder of your unfulfilled potential. Regret is one of the heaviest emotional burdens to bear because it represents everything you could have achieved but didn't. The longer you wait to take action, the harder it becomes to overcome the weight of regret as it begins to define your outlook on the future. You may find yourself second-guessing every opportunity that comes your way, thinking you've missed the boat, that it's too late to make a change. Inaction causes you to fall behind. Every moment of delay gives someone else the chance to step forward, to seize the opportunities you left on the table. In a competitive world, waiting too long to take action means watching others move ahead while you remain stuck in your hesitation. The difference between success and failure is often not about ability, but about who took action first. By visualizing this, you realize that every minute spent in inaction is a minute you're allowing someone else to move closer to their goals, and you fall further behind in the race. The price of inaction also impacts your self-worth. When you put off your goals and dreams, you create a gap between who you are and who you want to be. Over time, this gap grows wider. You begin to see yourself as someone who doesn't follow through, someone who doesn't take the necessary steps to create the life they desire. This self-perception chips away at your confidence and belief in your own abilities. It creates a sense of dissonance between your actions and your aspirations, and that dissonance can lead to feelings of inadequacy. The longer you delay taking action, the harder it becomes to believe that you're capable of achieving anything at all. Inaction also wastes valuable time you can never get back. Every minute you spend procrastinating, waiting, or avoiding decisions is a minute lost forever. It's not just about missing out on opportunities, it's about the relentless passage of time. Time is finite, and every moment of inaction is one you can never reclaim. Think about the opportunities you could have taken advantage of if you had simply acted sooner. Time doesn't wait for anyone. The longer you hesitate, the more precious time slips away, and with it, the chances for growth, success, and fulfillment. You can't afford to waste this valuable resource. The fear of failure also plays a major role in inaction, but this fear comes with its own price. The longer you avoid action because of the fear of failing, the more you allow that fear to control you. You might convince yourself that staying in your comfort zone is safer, that avoiding risk will protect you from failure. But in doing so, you guarantee that you'll never reach your full potential. The price of letting fear dictate your actions is a life of what-ifs and could-have-beens. Eventually, the regret of not trying outweighs the fear of failure itself, and you realize that not taking action is far more painful than facing any failure that might come your way. Inaction leads to missed growth. It's through taking action that we evolve, learn, and become better versions of ourselves. Every time you hesitate, you rob yourself of the chance to learn something new, to develop new skills, and to challenge yourself in ways that are necessary for growth. The longer you delay action, the longer you remain stuck in the same patterns, unaware of the growth you could have experienced. By staying inactive, you miss out on the lessons of personal growth that come with facing challenges head-on and persevering through adversity. Inaction also breeds complacency. It's easy to justify doing nothing when you're not immediately seeing the consequences. You might tell yourself, it's not that bad, or I'll get to it later, but as complacency sets in, it becomes harder and harder to take that first step. The longer you wait, the more comfortable you become with the status quo, and the less motivated you are to change. This complacency locks you in a cycle of doing nothing, convincing yourself that there's no urgency to act. But in reality, the longer you remain in this state, the more you lose. The cost of complacency is a life that slowly fades into mediocrity, where opportunities are missed, dreams are left behind, and potential goes untapped. By visualizing the price of inaction, you can begin to see the long-term consequences of staying where you are. It's not just about the missed opportunities today, but the compounded cost of inaction over time. The more you put things off, the more you risk losing time, growth, success, and even your sense of self-worth. Inaction is often a silent thief. It doesn't come with loud alarms or urgent red flags, but it steadily erodes your potential and future. It's easy to ignore the small delays, the momentary pauses, and the "I'll do it tomorrow" mentality, but inaction has a high price, and that cost only becomes clearer as time passes. The price of inaction isn't always immediately apparent, and that's what makes it so dangerous. It sneaks up on you, compounded by missed opportunities, regrets, and the steady accumulation of things you never did. Inaction is not just about doing nothing, it's about choosing not to act when it matters most. When you don't take action, you rob yourself of the chance to create change. Every moment you hesitate is a moment of growth that you lose. Think of your goals as seeds that need to be planted in fertile ground. If you leave them in the packet, if you never take that first step to plant them, they'll never grow. It's easy to look at the end result, the towering tree, and think it's too much to handle, but the truth is that the first step, the planting of the seed, is all that's required. Inaction prevents that step from happening. It stops you from starting, and without starting, nothing can ever grow. The longer you wait to act, the less chance you have of reaching the heights you could have achieved. The opportunity cost of inaction is enormous. Think about how many opportunities pass you by every time you choose to wait, delay, or avoid action. Each moment you spend hesitating is a moment where someone else is moving forward. Every opportunity missed is a chance you'll never get back. Whether it's a business idea left on the shelf, a personal relationship that could have blossomed, or a personal goal that remains just a dream, the price of inaction is the permanent loss of those chances. This isn't just about missed chances in the present. It's the compounding effect of the ones that will continue to slip through your fingers because you didn't act when you had the chance. Over time, the missed opportunities accumulate, and before you know it, you're left wondering, what could have been? Inaction feeds regret. Regret isn't always about things you did often, it's about things you didn't do. It's the quiet voice that creeps in during moments of reflection, reminding you of the roads you never took, the risks you never dared to face, and the actions you never followed through on. That voice of regret grows louder with every opportunity you let slip away. When you think about your future self, will you be proud of the decisions you make today? Or will you look back with regret, knowing you had the power to change your life but chose to wait? The longer you delay, the greater the weight of regret becomes. Regret isn't just a fleeting emotion, it sticks with you, lingering in your mind and shaping the way you view your past and future. The price of inaction also comes in the form of lost time. Time is a finite resource. Once it's gone, you can never get it back. Every moment spent in inaction is a moment that is forever lost. You might think that you can pick up where you left off tomorrow, but tomorrow always seems to slip further away. Delaying action doesn't just rob you of the present, it steals from your future as well. Think about how many things could have been different if you had acted sooner. Time doesn't care about your plans to act later. It moves forward relentlessly, and the longer you wait, the more time you waste. Every moment spent procrastinating is a moment you'll never recover, and the longer you stay in a state of inaction, the more time slips by unnoticed. Inaction also breeds stagnation. Stagnation is the slow and steady creeping of complacency into your life. When you don't take action, you stop moving forward, and when you stop moving forward, you're essentially moving backward. Life doesn't stay still, it's either progressing or regressing. Without taking consistent action, you fall behind, and the longer you remain in a state of inaction, the more challenging it becomes to catch up. It's easy to get comfortable in the status quo, to tell yourself that things are fine as they are. But when you choose to stay stagnant, you're choosing to forgo growth, new experiences, and the potential for improvement. You're locking yourself in a cycle where you stop challenging yourself, and as a result, you lose the ability to develop and evolve. Inaction can also cause a loss of self-esteem. When you don't act on your goals, dreams, and aspirations, you start to see yourself differently. You may begin to view yourself as someone who lacks discipline or the ability to follow through. The longer you put things off, the more your self-image takes a hit. The truth is, we are the sum of our actions or lack thereof. Every time you choose to avoid action, you reinforce a belief that you can't achieve what you set out to do. Your self-worth becomes tied to your ability to take action, and when you consistently avoid it, you chip away at your confidence and sense of personal integrity. Inaction undermines your belief in yourself, and that loss of confidence can have far-reaching effects on every aspect of your life. When you don't take action, you also miss out on the lessons and growth that come from the process of doing. Action teaches you things that contemplation never will. Each step you take, each effort you make, contributes to your understanding and skills. Even when you make mistakes, you learn and adapt. But when you stay stuck in inaction, you don't give yourself the opportunity to learn and grow. You remain trapped in uncertainty, fear, and hesitation, unable to make progress because you're too paralyzed by the fear of failure. Inaction keeps you from the valuable lessons that failure can teach. When you take action, you take control of your narrative. Inaction, on the other hand, keeps you passive, waiting for something outside of yourself to change. The price of inaction is not just the loss of opportunities, time, or growth, it's the inevitable realization that you were capable of more, but chose to do nothing. When you visualize the price of inaction, you are not only seeing the missed chances in the past, but also the toll it takes on your present and future. The cost is a slow but steady decline into mediocrity, a life where you could have been more, done more, and achieved more, but instead chose to wait. The longer you delay, the greater the price you pay. And eventually the cost becomes too high to ignore. Habits are powerful forces that shape our daily lives, influencing everything from how we spend our time to the quality of our decisions. They're deeply ingrained routines that, once formed, operate on autopilot, driving our actions without much conscious thought. While many habits serve us well, others can trap us in cycles that hold us back from reaching our full potential. The habit loop is a continuous cycle made up of three key elements: a cue, a routine, and a pain, a reward. This loop reinforces behaviors, both good and bad, creating patterns that we repeat over and over again, often without realizing how they're impacting our lives. To break the habit loop, we must first understand how it works, then take deliberate, mindful steps to disrupt it. The habit loop starts with a cue, which is the trigger that sets everything in motion. It can be an external event, an emotional state, or a specific time of day that prompts the brain to seek out a particular behavior. This cue acts as a signal to the brain that it's time to engage in a specific routine. For example, a cue could be feeling stressed, which prompts you to reach for a cigarette, or waking up in the morning, which triggers the habit of checking your phone. Over time, the cue becomes associated with the routine, reinforcing the cycle and making it feel automatic. The more we repeat this pattern, the more deeply ingrained it becomes, and the harder it is to break free from it. Once the cue is recognized, the brain moves into the routine phase. This is the behavior or action that follows the cue, the habit itself. It's during this stage that we perform the activity we've conditioned ourselves to do. Habits can be anything from reaching for a sugary snack when you're bored to procrastinating on important tasks when you feel overwhelmed. The routine feels comfortable and familiar, and the brain craves it because it's been reinforced over time. This repetition strengthens neural pathways, making the habit feel automatic. But while these habits might offer short-term relief or pleasure, they often come with negative long-term consequences, such as poor health, reduced productivity, or a sense of regret. The final component of the habit loop is the reward. This is the positive outcome or feeling we get after completing the routine. The reward reinforces the behavior, creating a cycle of reinforcement that strengthens the habit. For example, after smoking a cigarette, you might feel a temporary sense of relaxation, which serves as the reward. Or after checking social media, you might experience a fleeting sense of connection or distraction. Over time, the brain begins to associate the reward with the routine, making it more likely that we will repeat the cycle. The more satisfying the reward, the more difficult it becomes to break free from the loop, as the brain starts to crave the payoff that comes with the behavior. To break the habit loop, the first step is to become aware of the cycle you're stuck in. Awareness is the key to change. Most of the time we act out of habit without ever questioning why we're doing it or how it makes us feel. By pausing and reflecting on your behaviors, you can begin to identify the cues that trigger your habits. This might involve tracking your actions throughout the day or simply paying attention to the moments when you fall into automatic routines. Awareness allows you to recognize the cues and routines that no longer serve you and gives you the power to change them. Once you've identified the cues and routines, the next step is to introduce a new, healthier routine to replace the old one. This doesn't mean eliminating the behavior entirely, but rather substituting it with something that brings a similar reward without the negative consequences. For example, if you have a habit of eating junk food when you're stressed, you could replace that behavior with something healthier, like taking a walk, practicing deep breathing, or having a piece of fruit. The key is to choose a routine that provides a similar sense of reward, so your brain starts to associate the new behavior with the positive feelings you're seeking. Over time, as you repeat this new routine, the old one begins to fade, and the new behavior becomes ingrained. Another powerful strategy for breaking the habit loop is to disrupt the reward system. If the reward is what reinforces the habit, changing the reward can be a game changer. For example, instead of allowing yourself to feel a brief sense of relief or pleasure from an unhealthy behavior, you could focus on a different kind of reward, like personal satisfaction, a sense of accomplishment, or the long-term benefits of making a positive change. By rewarding yourself in a more meaningful way, you reduce the brain's desire for the old habits payoff and help shift the cycle toward healthier behaviors. The key is to make the new reward feel just as compelling as the old one. Changing the routine and reward, it's also important to manage the cues that trigger the habit. You can prevent the loop from being activated in the first place by altering your environment or using strategies to reduce exposure to triggers. For example, if you tend to procrastinate when you're feeling overwhelmed, you could create a workspace that minimizes distractions, set clear goals, and break tasks into smaller, more manageable steps. By changing the circumstances that prompt the habit, you make it easier to choose a healthier response instead of falling back into old patterns. The idea is to create an environment that supports the new habits you want to form, making it easier to take positive actions. Accountability is another powerful tool in breaking the habit loop. Having someone to support you or check in on your progress increases the likelihood of success. When we're accountable to others, we're more motivated to stick to our goals and follow through on the actions we've committed to. Whether it's a friend, family member, or coach, having someone to share your progress with can provide encouragement, reinforce positive behaviors, and help you stay on track. Accountability creates a sense of responsibility and can serve as an additional motivation to break the habit loop. Patience and persistence are critical when breaking the habit loop. Habits are deeply ingrained and can take time to change. It's easy to feel discouraged if you don't see immediate results, but every small step you take toward breaking the loop is progress. Stay committed to the process and understand that change doesn't happen overnight. Celebrate small victories along the way, and remember that consistency is key. As you continue to practice your new routine, the neural pathways associated with the old habit begin to weaken, while the new pathways grow stronger. Over time, the new behavior becomes automatic, and the old habit fades into the background. Breaking the habit loop requires a conscious effort to interrupt the cycle, but it is entirely possible with the right strategies. By understanding how the loop works, becoming aware of the cues, routines, and rewards, and making deliberate changes, you can replace negative habits with positive ones that serve your long-term goals. It's about taking control of your actions and shifting the course of your life toward the habits that will help you grow, succeed, and live a more fulfilling life. In a world full of distractions and constant demands, we often find ourselves starting projects, tasks, or goals with excitement and anticipation, only to abandon them before they are finished. We get caught up in the initial thrill of beginning something new, but as the process unfolds and the challenges arise, our energy fades, and we lose sight of the end goal. This is the cycle of incomplete endeavors, the unfinished business that lingers in our minds, clouding our sense of accomplishment. However, there is a unique, fulfilling joy that comes with completion, a joy that cannot be found in the process of starting alone. It is in finishing what you begin that you unlock a deep sense of pride, fulfillment, and personal growth. The joy of completion begins with the satisfaction of seeing something through to the end. When you complete a task, project, or goal, you experience the reward of your hard work and effort. This sense of accomplishment is more than just the tangible result. It's the feeling of knowing that you persevered through the obstacles, challenges, and setbacks that came your way. You took something from the realm of ideas and turned it into reality. There's a special kind of pride that accompanies the completion of something you've poured your time, energy, and creativity into. It's the satisfaction of knowing that you didn't give up halfway through, and that alone is worth celebrating. Completion also provides a sense of closure. When you leave a task unfinished, you create a mental and emotional burden that lingers. That feeling of incompleteness can weigh heavily on your mind, keeping you preoccupied with unfinished business. It's like having a pile of papers on your desk that never gets sorted. It's constantly there, nagging at you, draining your focus and energy. But when you complete something, you close that chapter and free yourself from that burden. The mental clarity that comes with finishing what you start allows you to focus your energy on new projects and opportunities without the looming presence of unfinished tasks weighing you down. Beyond the immediate sense of satisfaction, completion also provides an opportunity for reflection. When you finish something, you gain perspective on the journey you took to get there. You can look back at the challenges you faced, the lessons you learned, and the growth you experienced along the way. This reflection not only boosts your confidence, but also helps you learn from the process, allowing you to improve and refine your approach for future endeavors. The joy of completion is not just in the destination, but in the journey itself. It teaches you resilience, perseverance, and the ability to navigate difficulties with determination and focus. Completion breeds a sense of momentum. Every time you complete something, no matter how small, you build confidence in your ability to finish what you start. This creates a snowball effect, where the act of completing one task motivates you to tackle the next. The sense of accomplishment that comes from completing a project propels you forward, giving you the energy and drive to take on even greater challenges. Completion becomes a powerful force that helps you maintain focus, discipline, and motivation as you see the tangible results of your efforts and recognize that your hard work is paying off. The joy of completion also creates a positive feedback loop. When you finish something, you feel good about yourself, which in turn boosts your self-esteem and self-worth. This increased confidence makes it easier to take on new tasks, set higher goals, and push yourself further than you have before. The more you complete, the more you believe in your ability to succeed. This positive reinforcement fuels your desire to keep going, creating a cycle of achievement that propels you toward greater success. As your track record of completion grows, so does your belief in your own capabilities, and that belief is one of the most powerful motivators you can have. Another key benefit of completion is that it reinforces your discipline and work ethic. The ability to finish what you start is a reflection of your commitment, focus, and determination. It requires the ability to push through distractions, resist the urge to procrastinate, and stay the course even when things get tough. The more you practice completing tasks, the more you strengthen these qualities within yourself. Discipline is not just about working hard, it's about working consistently and following through on your promises to yourself. When you learn to finish what you start, you develop the self-control and mental toughness needed to tackle even the most daunting tasks with confidence. Completion also fosters a sense of pride in your work and in yourself. When you complete something, you are left with a tangible product that reflects your effort and skill. Whether it's a completed project, a finished book, or a goal achieved, the result is a testament to your abilities. This pride is not about seeking external validation, but about knowing that you've put your best effort into something and seen it through to the end. This pride in your work fosters a sense of ownership and accountability, encouraging you to take responsibility for your actions and outcomes. You become someone who is known for following through, someone who can be relied upon to complete what they begin. Completion allows you to celebrate progress. It's easy to get lost in the enormity of a long-term goal or project, feeling overwhelmed by the distance between where you are and where you want to be. But by focusing on completing smaller tasks along the way, you create measurable milestones that allow you to celebrate progress. Each time you finish a task or reach a goal, you can pause and acknowledge how far you've come. These moments of celebration not only boost your morale, but they also remind you that progress is happening, even if the end result feels far off. Completion helps you stay motivated by providing a sense of achievement along the way. Learning the joy of completion is ultimately about embracing the power of finishing what you start. It's about recognizing that the real satisfaction lies not in the thrill of beginning something new, but in the quiet pride of seeing it through to the end. Completion offers a sense of fulfillment, closure, and growth that is unmatched by anything else. It's a skill that, when practiced, enhances your sense of accomplishment and propels you toward greater success. The joy of completion is not fleeting, it is a lasting reward that builds upon itself, creating momentum, confidence, and a deep sense of pride in your ability to achieve and finish the tasks you set out to do. Success is not a passive experience, it is an active pursuit. Many people wait for the right moment, the perfect opportunity, or the ideal circumstances before they take action. They sit back, hoping that success will somehow come to them, believing that someday, if they wait long enough, everything will fall into place. But the reality is that success favors the doers, the ones who take action, who step into the arena and do the work, even when the conditions are not perfect. It is not the dreamers, planners, or wishful thinkers who achieve success, but the individuals who relentlessly pursue their goals with determination and effort. Success is built on the foundation of consistent action. It is the small daily steps taken toward a goal that compound over time to create significant results. The doers understand that success does not happen overnight. It is a culmination of continuous effort, practice, and persistence. They know that nothing worth achieving comes easily, and they are willing to put in the work, regardless of the obstacles they may face. Whether it's a business venture, a personal goal, or a dream project, success is earned through action, not waiting. The doers are not deterred by failure or setbacks because they understand that failure is an essential part of the process. When they fail, they don't view it as an end, but as an opportunity to learn, grow, and adjust their approach. Every failure is a stepping stone that brings them closer to success. This mindset is crucial because it allows them to keep moving forward, even when the road gets tough. They know that success is not a straight line, but a winding path filled with challenges. However, by continuing to take action, despite these challenges, they increase their chances of success with every step. Success also favors the doers because they understand the importance of momentum. Taking action creates momentum, and momentum fuels progress. When you take consistent action, even if it's small, you begin to build a sense of forward movement. This momentum becomes a driving force, making it easier to keep going, even when motivation wanes. The doer knows that the key to overcoming inertia is simply starting. Once they begin, it becomes much easier to continue. Each action taken reinforces the next one, creating a cycle of productivity that propels them forward. The doers understand that waiting for perfect conditions is a trap. Perfection is an illusion, and there is no such thing as the right time to start. Life is unpredictable, and waiting for circumstances to align perfectly often leads to perpetual inaction. The doers don't wait for the stars to align, they make the stars align through their own actions. They recognize that taking imperfect action is better than taking no action at all. Every step they take, even if it's not flawless, brings them closer to their goal. They don't let fear of failure, uncertainty, or imperfection hold them back because they understand that success is not about waiting for the perfect moment, it's about creating the moment through decisive action. The doers also create opportunities where none seem to exist. Success is not a random event, it is the result of creating opportunities and seizing them when they arise. While others may sit idly by, hoping for a break, the doers actively seek out ways to move forward. They network, explore new ideas, take calculated risks, and find creative solutions to problems. They don't wait for opportunity to knock, they go out and make their own opportunities. Through their actions, they open doors that others don't even see, positioning themselves in places where success is more likely to find them. Another defining characteristic of the doers is their ability to focus on what they can control. While many people spend their time worrying about factors outside of their influence, the doers focus on their actions, their decisions, and their efforts. They understand that the only thing they can truly control is the work they put in. Whether the economy is thriving or struggling, whether the market is favorable or not, they keep moving forward because they know that their efforts are what will ultimately determine the success. They don't get bogged down by external circumstances. They adapt, adjust, and continue to push forward with relentless focus. The doers also understand the importance of discipline and consistency. Success is not achieved through bursts of intense effort followed by long periods of inactivity. It is the result of steady, consistent action over time. The doers create a routine, establish habits, and stick to them, even when motivation is low. They know that success is the product of sustained effort, not temporary inspiration. They commit to the process, understanding that results come from consistent, daily actions rather than sporadic bursts of energy. Another key reason why success favors the doers is their ability to take responsibility for their outcomes. While many people look for excuses or blame external factors when things don't go as planned, the doers own their successes and their failures. They understand that they are responsible for their own results. When something doesn't go right, they don't look for someone or something to blame. They look inward, analyze what went wrong, and take steps to improve. This sense of ownership is empowering because it gives them the control to change their circumstances and take their future into their own hands. The doers also have an unwavering belief in their ability to create change. This self-belief is crucial to their success because it drives them to take action, even in the face of uncertainty or doubt. They don't wait for external validation or approval. They trust in their own abilities and keep moving forward, regardless of the challenges they encounter. This self-confidence propels them to take risks, try new things, and put themselves out there, knowing that their actions will ultimately lead them to success. Success is not a matter of luck, chance, or waiting for the stars to align. It is the result of taking consistent, deliberate action. The doers are the ones who move forward with purpose, even when the path is unclear or difficult. They are the ones who create their own opportunities, build momentum through action, and embrace failure as a part of the journey. Success doesn't come to those who wait, it comes to those who do, who take the reins of their own lives and relentlessly pursue their goals, one action at a time. It favors those who understand that doing is the key to achieving, and that every step forward, no matter how small, brings them closer to the success they seek. Every action we take, no matter how small or seemingly insignificant, has a far-reaching impact. The effort we put into something creates a ripple effect that extends beyond the task at hand, influencing those around us and shaping our future in ways we may not immediately recognize. This is the power of effort, the idea that our actions, especially consistent, focused effort, create waves of change that stretch out across time and space, touching people and situations we may never have anticipated. The ripple effect of effort is not just about the direct results of our actions, it's about the indirect consequences that unfold as a result of our commitment to doing the work. The ripple effect begins with the initial effort. Whether it's something as small as starting a daily workout routine or as large as launching a new business, your effort sets the stage for what comes next. This effort might seem like it's contained within the boundaries of a single task, but the reality is that everything you do creates an energy that reverberates outward. The energy of your effort affects the people around you, your family, friends, co-workers, and it can inspire them to take action as well. This is one of the most powerful aspects of effort, its ability to inspire and motivate others. When you show up, do the work, and push yourself toward your goals, you are leading by example, demonstrating the value of hard work and perseverance. This influence can encourage others to take action in their own lives, sparking a chain reaction of productivity, motivation, and growth. The ripple effect of effort also extends to your own personal growth and development. Every time you make an effort to learn, improve, or step outside your comfort zone, you are building momentum. This momentum propels you forward, allowing you to achieve greater success and tackle bigger challenges. The more effort you put into improving yourself, the more progress you make, and that progress becomes cumulative. Small, consistent efforts add up over time, creating compound growth that becomes more and more significant as it builds. Each new skill you develop, each obstacle you overcome, and each milestone you achieve strengthens you and prepares you for the next challenge. This upward spiral of growth is driven by the effort you put in every day. Your effort also creates opportunities that might not have existed otherwise. Many people wait for the perfect opportunity to present itself before they take action. They sit back hoping for a break, without realizing that opportunities are often created by the work we put in. The effort you invest today is what positions you for the opportunities of tomorrow. Whether it's networking, honing a new skill, or simply showing up every day with a positive attitude, these small actions create opportunities that build over time. So the more effort you put into something, the more likely you are to encounter chances for advancement, growth, or success. These opportunities can often appear when you least expect them, but they are a direct result of your consistent effort. The ripple effect is not only about external outcomes, but also the internal changes that occur when we commit to putting in the effort. Every time we put in the work, we build resilience, discipline, and character. The act of showing up and doing the work, even when it's difficult or uncomfortable, strengthens our mental and emotional muscles. We learn how to navigate setbacks, face challenges head-on, and keep moving forward in the face of adversity. Over time, this builds our confidence and self-belief, reinforcing our ability to handle whatever comes our way. Our efforts shape our identity, transforming us into individuals who are capable of achieving great things and overcoming obstacles. This internal growth is perhaps the most powerful ripple of all, as it directly affects how we see ourselves and our potential. The ripple effect of effort is often seen in the way it impacts those around us. When we put in the effort to work hard, be disciplined, and pursue our goals, we create a ripple of positivity and inspiration within our communities. Whether it's at work, in our families, or within our social circles, our actions influence the behavior of others. People around us begin to take note of our commitment, and many will respond in kind, stepping up their own efforts and contributing to a culture of growth, productivity, and success. Your efforts can act as a catalyst for others, igniting a spark that leads to collective progress. By being the example, you show others what is possible when effort is consistently applied, and this can create a powerful wave of motivation and action within your circles. The ripple effect extends to the relationships we build. When you put effort into maintaining relationships, whether with family, friends, or colleagues, the impact goes far beyond just the interaction itself. Taking the time to listen, support, and show up for others strengthens bonds and creates a deeper sense of connection. These relationships, built on mutual effort, create a foundation of trust and respect that can have lasting effects on both your personal and professional life. The effort you invest in nurturing relationships has a long-lasting impact, creating a network of people who support and uplift each other. This network becomes a valuable resource, opening doors, providing opportunities, and fostering an environment of collaboration and mutual growth. In the same way, the effort you put into a single project can have unexpected benefits in other areas of your life. For example, dedicating time and energy to improving your physical health can lead to improved mental clarity, better focus at work, and enhanced emotional well-being. Effort in one area often spills over into others, creating a holistic improvement in your life. As you put in the effort to excel in one domain, you find that it elevates your performance and well-being in other aspects as well. The benefits of effort are often multiplied, creating a web of positive outcomes that stretch far beyond the initial action. The ripple effect of effort can also be seen in the larger global context. When we commit to putting effort into our goals and endeavors, we contribute to a culture of action and change. Small individual efforts add up to create a collective movement. When many people are taking action and making efforts in their own lives, they create a wave of progress that extends far beyond their immediate surroundings. The ripple effect becomes a force for positive change, inspiring entire communities, industries, and societies to move forward and grow. The energy of individual efforts combines to create a larger movement, one that creates lasting impact on a grand scale. The ripple effect of effort serves as a reminder that no effort is ever truly wasted. Even when the outcomes are not immediately visible, the impact of your actions is felt in ways that might not be obvious at first. The small, seemingly insignificant efforts you make today can create massive change in the future. Whether it's the impact you have on someone's life, the lessons you learn along the way, or the opportunities that arise down the road, every ounce of effort you put into your work and your life contributes to the larger picture. The ripple effect ensures that your actions, no matter how small, have value, and that value extends far beyond what you can see in the present moment.